Hello and welcome. You're watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Monli Sarumbai, bringing you the Salesian news across the globe. The Rector Major of the Salesians of Don Bosco, Father Angel Fernandez Artime, as part of the work of the General Council and with the consent of the other members of the Council, has appointed Father Gianpaolo Roma as the new superior of the Don Michel Rua, province of southern Italy, for the 6-year period 2023 to 29. Gianpaolo Roma was born in Salerno on November 25, 1979. He entered the novitiate of Penirillo on 2000, where he made his first vows on September 8, 2000. He pronounced his perpetual vows in Andria on 9 September 2007, while he received priestly ordination on 16th of May 2009 in his hometown. In the community of Santa Ramo in Colle, he was councillor 2010 to 11, director of the oratory 2010 to 14, and then vicar 2011 to 14. Then he was designated as Buzar in Torre Annunziata 2014 to 16 and Andrea 2016 to 17. Later he served as director and parish priest in Brindisi 2017 to 19, and in the last 3 years he has been councillor at the provincial centre of Naples. Father Angel Fernandez Artime, Rector Major of the Salesians, met in the early afternoon yesterday, December 16, 2022, in Turin Valdocco, the journalists participating in the press tour organized by the co-spokesman of the Salesian congregation, Father Giuseppe Costa, SDB. It was a very enriching moment of dialogue and confrontation between the group of 30 journalists accredited to the Vatican Press Office and the Italian Foreign Press, and the Rector Major, who on this occasion was able to illustrate to them the reality of the congregation today and who answered all the questions with frankness and openness. The session was opened by Father Costa's words of welcome to the various Vaticanistas and journalists expert in religious and ecclesial communication gathered at Valdocco, an extremely qualified group united by a common sympathy towards the figure of Don Bosco as expressed by the co-spokesman of the Salesian congregation. In the first part of the press conference, Father Angel Fernandez Artime explained his service of animation and governance of the congregation, a reality of 14,000 Salesians in 134 nations, still expanding towards new missionary frontiers and which, although without triumphalism, can still boast every year about 450 novices who make the first profession and an average of 1 young Salesian in formation for every 4.2 sons of Don Bosco. This year, we hear more true than ever the words of Isaiah. The people who walked in darkness saw great light. Upon those who dwelt in a land of darkness, in a light shone. Dear friends, in this time, there is more light in our cities. Stars and shop windows announce the arrival of the Christmas party. In the flood of Santa Claus, reindeer and snowmen, he rarely winks at any image of the baby Jesus, even if he is the king of the party. As Pope Benedict XVI recalled, the glory of God is not manifested in the triumph and power of a king. It does not shine in a famous city, in a sumptuous place, but takes up residence in the womb of a virgin. It is revealed in the poverty of a child. God's omnipotence, even in our lives, works with the often silent power of truth and love. Faith tells us then that the defenseless strength of that child finally conquers the voices of the powers of the world. And in the night of the world, let us allow ourselves to be surprised and enlightened anew by this totally unexpected act of God. God becomes a child. Let us allow ourselves to be surprised and illuminated by the star that has flooded the universe with joy. May the child Jesus, when he comes to us, not find us unprepared, intent only to embellishing external reality. The figure of Saint Francis de Sales has accompanied the spiritual and pedagogical journey of the entire Salesian family during this year 2022 that is drawing to a close due to the 4th centenary of the death of the saint from agnesi. The motto of the Rector Major Strena, all through love, nothing through constraint, has been a powerful guideline to more deeply know the roots of the charism common to all groups and be led spiritually and pedagogically by the wisdom of Saint Francis de Sales. That is why a booklet entitled The Spirituality and Pedagogy of Saint Francis de Sales in the groups of the Salesian family, the result of the work of the World Consulta or Advisory Council gathered in Turin last May 20 to 23rd is now being made available. The annual meeting of the World Council, the meeting of the world leaders of all groups presided over by the Rector Major, is one of the most convivial moments in which we experience communion, appreciation, and mutual knowledge, praying together, thinking together, and working together. On December 8th, the National Council for Salesian Education, CONESA in Spanish, celebrated 25 years of institutional life with the celebration of a Eucharist and a solemn event in the presence of Salesians, higher educational council authorities, and students from various educational works. The Mass was held in the parish of San Juan Bosco de la Kennedy and was presided over by Father Francisco Sanchez, Superior of the Salesian Province of Ecuador, ECU. During the homily, the provincial recalled what Salesians do to give the best of themselves for the salvation of young people. The solemn session was then held at the St. Francis de Sales Theatre of the Don Bosco Technical College in the presence of several authorities. Father Sanchez, ECU Provincial, Father Angel Lazo, ECU Vicar, Father Vladimir Acosta, CONESA President, Father Luis Mosquera, ECU Economer, Father Miricio Leme, Delegate for Youth Ministry, Maria Brown, Minister of Education, Monsieur Alfredo Espinoza, SDP, Archbishop of Quito, Monsieur David de la Torre, Secretary General of the Ecuadorian Bishops Conference, Pedro Paraquios, Mayor of Cuenca, and Romulo Lopez, President of the Confedec. In his speech, Father Vladimir Acosta said, "For us, the school is a tool to build together the greatest of dreams and ever more human and fraternal world. We are convinced that we are called to contribute in this way to the construction of a more just, supportive, and dignified society for all." For his part, the Minister of Education said, "It is a privilege to have allies who seek the welfare of students with excellence, quality, dedication, affection, values, and joy." So viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.